clear that, I think. Well guys, welcome to a new video. I'm here in Pelton Fell in Cong Woods, meeting up with a lad called Rob who's kindly decided to show us about, and I'm just dropping into one of the hand-built off-piste trails here. That big corner where we moved the log, come off, didn't I? Just right, front wheel washed right out on the gravel.
It is, it feels different to just the other day. I think it was 4 days ago I was there and it didn't feel like that.
Aye.
Much more dusty now.
Very loose, yeah.
Aye. Come on, I'll take you some more. So, what I'll do is just take you down the main line. But as you're going down, take a look at all the different, like bits you can go up and down.
Right.
If you want to, you know.
So after first visiting the dirt jump area and that first off-piste downhill dug-in trail, Rob took us through one of the trails which basically just goes through the centre of the woods from one end to the other. Quite nice bit of fast single track, varying in terrain, some bits wider than others, some quite narrow, some bits quite rooty and techy. But branching off from this trail there's a variety of other little lines which we will explore as time goes on. So after riding most of the length of the woodland, we decided to now go off the main trails and explore some of the offshoots of this path, see where they would take us. Rob has ridden these woods quite a few times in the past, but there's still a lot of little lines which he's not familiar with. The woodland itself is quite deceptively large. If you check on Google Maps it does stretch out quite a distance. And do be aware, you are likely to bump into dog walkers and families and things like that in a woodland like this. So do be careful and do be courteous when you come across anybody. So this woodland stretches from the bottom end of Chesley Street all the way up to bottom of Walridge Fell and slightly beyond. Chesley Street end probably isn't quite as steep a valley, but as you get to the Walridge end the valley does get deeper and some steeper lines and things along that end. Here we are sort of near the burn and following some of the lines just near it where you can see it's a little bit more rooty. As I said, a lot of variation in the type of terrain you're going to be riding in this woodland. And we are now actually heading more towards the Walridge Fell kind of end.
Not a bad little run there.
Aye.
Can't remember that one.
Right guys, so out in Cong Woods, and I'm with lad Rob there who's shown us about, but we're still basically just exploring these woods. There's a lot of areas he doesn't even know himself. and we've came across some pretty good looking lines over here. Really big sweeping berms with drops, and in this area of the woods there's 3, maybe 4 lines that we've identified so far. I'll take you down this one here, winds its way down. Sweeps its way down here. Into this jump, down onto the main trail. Got another line coming down there. I think there's another one further on, and a couple more further back that way. So we're going to push the bikes up the top and explore these a little bit more. Right.
As usual, the good old GoPro effect just doesn't give justice to how steep some of these sections are.
That was cool.
Wow, carry that like. Took it very easy like, but took it very easy like, but
yeah, you got it when you're first learning them, you know. Oh. Let's do a few more there.
So here we are dropping into the second of these downhill trails what we found. Conditions over the last weeks, months have been very dry, so a lot of this is very loose and slippery. As you'll notice in the first trail I rode at the beginning of the video, a lot of these berms are quite loose in places, so definitely taking it very easy, especially as it's the first time ever riding down them.
right guys, so heading back up onto Walrich Fell now. Rob's left us. Had to head back home. We've had a good little look about the woods. Rob showed us a couple of areas that he already knew, and we also discovered some really interesting downhill runs, some of them which are still under construction, so I've got a bit of footage of going down a couple of those, although we did take our time because we've never ridden them before. But I think we've just scratched the surface of these woods, although Rob's ridden them on and off for quite a few years. There's a lot of lines he still doesn't know. So yeah, been a good little session. So I'm going to head up onto the fell to near where I've parked, have a bite to eat, maybe a ride around the fell itself, and then head home. I'm now having a blast over the fell now. Come out of the woods, just had a bit of dinner. I'm going to take it easy here though, because I know there's a lot of families walking ahead of us. And head back up to the North Fell to where the car's parked. Absolutely gorgeous up here this time of year when the heather's in flower.
So after riding across the fell here, I decided to detour back into the woods.
Don't really know where I am at the moment. Just a bit more exploring. That's what today has been about. Just coming over here with the car so I can spend a bit more time seeing what we've got about the place and not having to worry about having the energy to ride about 8 or 9 miles to get back home. Right, time to wrap this video up, people. Been a really good ride. I'm up on the top of Walridge Fell now, near where I've got the car parked. Woods I've been riding in are just behind us there. Quite windy up here, so I hope the wind slayer's doing the job and you can hear us okay. But yeah, Rob's a nice lad. He showed us around a few of the bits of single track. We did a bit of exploring to a couple of areas he hadn't been to before, and that's where we found the group of about 4 or 5, maybe more, downhill lines which have been dug in with berms and jumps and drops and things like that. So we had to go on a couple of those before Rob had to leave and get himself home. I've just had a little bit ride about up on the fell itself and a bit of dinner. Now going back to the car, get myself back home. So I'm sure I'll be back over here sometime in the near future, explore the woods a little bit more. Some really nice single track, really nice woodland to ride in, full stop. But yeah, been a really good day. So thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.